Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. I'm very glad to be here today. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 and especially Robert for helping us put on our program today. Today I have Julie and Alan Sanders joining me. They are responsible or have their hand in a lot of different things that are going on downtown, a lot of the new shops coming in, new business. So we are very excited to have you here today to talk some more about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Well, whoever wants to start first, tell about yourself, just a little bit about yourself.
I came here to Sylacauga to start my optometry practice, and I started at Walmart. I was there for 6 years, and I decided I wanted to relocate here because the town was just great. It had a great sense of community. And so I had just met Alan, and he said, hey, I'll help you remodel a building and start your practice. So that's how it all started.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Alan, what about you?
So I'm basically from here. I moved here probably in 5th grade. My mother was from Sylacauga, Tommy Cox. So I've never really left. I've had the privilege of working for the Purcell family on the fertilizer side since 1990. So I've been with them since then. So, and then I've done these other projects on the weekends and vacations.
On the weekends and vacations. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of time. You've put a lot of time in this, and I know when we were talking before we started the program, you said it started with remodeling your practice. Really? That's how, is that something you've done a lot, remodeling?
Yeah, I had done a lot during the summer times, helping family and friends.
Good. So it wasn't just like a brand new thing.
No.
Something you'd done, huh?
Jack of all trades, he could do anything.
That's awesome. I wish I was like that. I wish I could do more things like that. Yeah. So you started with yours, and then you did that. Now, a lot of what's going on downtown, I know Pizza and Pint, Trailwares, Fermenters Market, Trendsetters, I know you said was the first one, Cup of Grace, The Place, Craft Studio, all of those things. You've had a hand in all of that. That is awesome. And I tell you, I work downtown. I'm from Sylacauga, so I'm really glad to see places to eat, places to shop, different things downtown again. And then working downtown, we're really glad to have the traffic. People come into the library and then they want to go get some pizza or they want to go do something else downtown. So thank y'all very much for all the work. Now, you said the first one was Trendsetters. Is that correct?
Well, really, the first one was, I don't know if anybody remembers Chit Chats. It was a little internet cafe. Yeah. And I was in private practice. Alan was traveling a lot. But we just had the idea to just have a little restaurant. I love restaurant work. I worked my way through college in restaurants. And so we bought that little, Herb and Judy Haynes had already remodeled it. And so we just had to put in some kitchen equipment, do just a few little things. And started that, and then the Diggs building next door came up for sale. And I'd actually looked at that one for my practice, but it was just too overwhelming of a project.
Right.
So, and I was in love with that building. And so we decided to take that on, and we did the downstairs first, and then we remodeled upstairs for the loft.
Wow.
Took about 2 years, I think, from start to finish.
Oh, okay. That's a good little while, but I guess when you're doing that much work, it takes.
Yeah, especially nights and weekends.
Yeah, oh, that's true, with full-time jobs.
Yeah.
But you had a lot of, you said you'd done a lot of remodeling and renovations and things, and then you had the, did you wait tables, hostess, when you were you said you worked your way through school, working in restaurants?
I did everything.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. It just, the whole industry fascinated me.
Wow.
I loved it.
So a lot of experience there. That's great, and using what you know and what you love to turn our downtown around. That's great. So it started with Chit Chats. I had forgotten about that until you mentioned it a few minutes ago. As you're researching the building, where it is, do you try and find out, what has it been over the years? What businesses have been here?
I've just recently started trying to figure out what each of these, a lot of people come to us and tell us what it was, and
I bet.
But I want a specific timeline. I would love to find out each building, what was it year to year to year. So I went down to the library and looked at the 1940 phone directory, which actually tells you, but the street numbers are much different than they are today. So
Oh,
it's kind of
really?
like trying to piece together which building they're talking about. And it's hard to tell because some buildings were built different times, some buildings were split up and have different addresses. So it's a little difficult. So if there's anybody out there that knows what things were when, I would love to hear about it because I'd like to do one for each building.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice because I know, like I said, I'm from here. I remember Maldives and a few of those other places that were
Yeah, but
downtown.
a lot of the older folks, you know, we really would like to know what they know because it's hard to piece it together just from the little bits and pieces that were saved.
Right. I hadn't thought about numbers changing. The streets are the same, street names, but the numbers.
Joe Duck actually told us a lot of detail on a lot of the buildings early on.
I
With some of our
bet.
early buildings we had bought. So.
And I didn't write it down.
Oh, now could you just shoot yourself?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes. Well, now you can. That is awesome, though. So you said you did Chit Chats and then moved on to
The digs.
the digs.
Which was ultimately Marble City Grill for 16 years, 15 years,
That's
whatever
right.
it was.
You know, I was trying to think back. I've forgotten exactly what was there. It was Marble City Grill, which now is the place, one of the
Right.
newer places there,
Yes.
and it's beautiful, beautiful inside.
Yes.
Great.
They're doing a great job.
They are. Kim was on our program not too long ago talking about that and some other things. Now, you did venture down to Trendsetters, which is down the road a little bit. You said you helped them. That is a beautiful storefront and inside, too.
Yeah.
Was
That was the first one. That one had a lot of walls, took a lot of demolition.
So it was this TV station actually. We bought it from Vince, who owns this TV station. So it was his,
Wow.
I guess, his first Sylacauga TV
Yes.
station.
Huh.
So
It's all connected, isn't
yeah,
it?
It is.
But that one took a lot of work, you said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the first, I guess, total demolition where we took down all the walls and took all the plaster off the bricks. And it was a lot.
Do you do a lot of the work yourself, or you have?
we probably do 90% of it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so,
goodness!
yeah.
Wow. And you guys both got busy jobs. I know that takes a
Yeah.
little bit of time there.
Well, I'm doing this full time now.
Oh well, great. Well, good.
Since we sold the restaurant, I was in the restaurant full time, but then once we sold that, I was freed up to do other projects. So we do, just depending on what people need, we want to find somebody that's a good business owner. And if they're not comfortable in starting a business, we'll start the business and then find somebody, or we'll find somebody that wants to start one that doesn't know how to, and we'll go through all the process of getting them incorporated and setting up tax accounts, showing them how to do payroll, anything they need. And then we do have some that they just say, oh, make it a coffee shop. And then they do all the business stuff themselves. That's like Cup of Grace.
Right.
Yeah. So we just went ahead and built it out as a coffee shop, and they just took off from there.
Wow, that's great. We're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Alan and Julie Sanders, and we're talking about the work that's been done downtown and a lot of the new businesses open and places to eat, things like that. Julie, the last thing you were telling me is that you help people start, or y'all help people start a small business. Maybe they've always wanted to and they know how, or you help them get started. Now, do you teach small business seminars? Is that what I heard?
I have in the past, but it's easier one-on-one. So if somebody comes and they don't even know where to start, I've already gone through that several times, so I know the mistakes I've made,
Okay.
and some very expensive ones, so I can help lead them in the right direction and kind of get a plan together, what to do first, what to do second, which licenses they need, how to navigate that.
There's a lot to it, I'm sure, isn't there?
There is, and it's very difficult and time consuming if you don't have somebody kind of hold your hand and show you through and get it done quicker, because once you make an investment of going into a building, you need to get it open quickly and get some income.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's true. And most people don't have the kind of money just to put it all out there, and then it comes in a little bit at a time.
Exactly.
So it's
and it's scary, even if somebody has been doing what they're doing their entire life, to be responsible for the entire business when they've never done that. It's a hurdle to overcome, like Nancy with Trailwares.
Yes.
She has been in retail for 30-some years, but to make that leap into doing it for yourself is very scary, and there are a lot of things that you have to learn in order to do it yourself.
Great. And you said you've been there and done that several times.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. It's great that you can help people. I know I watched the, before y'all came on today, I did some looking on the internet and things I'd seen before, but Nancy from Trailwares, she said it was a dream of hers. So I know you're helping other people make their dreams come true.
It's a win-win, because as soon as you have somebody that's set up to be successful, they're more likely to stay. Because what we don't want downtown are vacant buildings or failed businesses. So if we can get the building remodeled to make it very appealing and get somebody set up as far as the business goes to be able to be successful and stay in business, it helps everybody. The city gets tax dollars. They have employees who have jobs.
Yes.
So it's a win-win. So we'd like to do more of it.
Oh, really? That's great. Any plans for the future, or just always some kind of plans?
Broadway Cafe, I guess, will be the next one we'll work on. It's next to Stanton's, is the one we're currently working on.
Yes.
And then we'd like to finish the Rex. As most people probably knows, we pulled all the stucco off earlier this year.
Yes.
And exposed all the brickwork, which
And there's a lot of work to do
needs to
to
be
get
a
the
lot of
facade.
needs to have a lot of work done to it. So
All right. Now that's the old Rex
hotel.
Hotel,
It's
right?
where the beer shop is, and
Right.
O'Neill
craft
Barber Shop, and the
studio,
craft studio,
and Edward Jones.
And Edward Jones are kind of
Oh,
all
that's right.
in the
Okay.
bottom of the building. So we'd like to eventually maybe a couple of lofts upstairs.
Oh, that'd be great. All
So-
right. Now I've seen that. I guess I didn't really know how far. I mean, I knew the side where Fermenters is, and then the craft studio, but it goes as far as the Edward Jones.
Yeah, actually goes past Edward Jones to O'Neill Barber Shop.
Oh,
It'd be
okay.
all three of those buildings on the front.
Well,
within one building.
good.
So it'd be, 5,000 square feet up top, usable space probably.
Oh, okay, good. Called the loft, or it would be a loft
Yeah, I think we'd
people
want to make it a loft if
to
we could.
live or have business.
It's nice to have people living downtown.
Yes.
You have eyes on the street
Oh, that's
24/7, so it keeps crime down, and it is so nice to live downtown. We love it.
Oh, so you.
There's no
live
yard work.
Yeah, we live,
Oh, don't tell my husband. That'd be great.
we live above the place right now, so we actually we've been there since we remodeled the building, whatever, it's been 10 years, 15 years ago. So, and we're moving to Stanton's if I ever finish.
Oh, this
So-
new Stanton's, or the old Stanton's building looks beautiful with I see the plants out on the balcony. That is beautiful. I know that's a lot of work too.
It's been a lot.
And killed the budget also.
We're good at that.
Oh, well, I know. And during these, I mean, I know I've said these uncertain times so much, I'm so tired of hearing that, but I know that's put a damper on everything, but still y'all are moving forward with all of that.
Yeah, and we'd like to, thank the city also, city council, the zoning people in the code department, kind of working with us on all the balconies on the sidewalks, kind of something new to Sylacauga that we've had to
okay.
work through to get some zoning variances and whatnot.
And they've
So-
changed the zoning, so now downtown you can have first floor level living as long as it's less than 50% and it's in the back. So we've put a small apartment in the downstairs of Stanton's. My mother will be living there just right underneath us.
Wow, how nice.
So just more people downtown.
That's right. You know, when you said the zoning and the ordinances, there is so much to this. The average person does not know, because I would not have thought of all that.
Well, anytime you touch city property, you have to, get with the city, and all these
That's
buildings
true.
actually run up to city property, so when you go on the sidewalk, it's city property.
That's true. That's true. But all those places seem to be doing well. Fermenter's Market seems to be doing well, and they have things in the back parking lot. That's a lot of fun. Pizza and Pint. I personally love their pizza. It's great.
We do too.
And it is a beautiful place. It seems like you left some of the old of what it used to be, but then made it a new place.
That's right. Like the kegulator, the beer cooler and Pizza and Pint, it's actually a Cleveland Jury's original safe they had in there. So
And the
safe-
door came from the post office. The original
really?
post office,
Yeah.
the safe door.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's beautiful. But when you take the building apart layer by layer and get down to the actual character of the building and see what there is there, and you always find treasures hidden in the walls or
you
the
do.
ceilings. So, yeah.
Yeah, she actually found it's a city blueprint from 1940.
No, it was in the ceiling. It was it was up in the rafters
Oh my goodness.
under the plaster ceiling, and it's a city map of Sylacauga from when they built the Rex Hotel.
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
That is a treasure.
That's probably the neatest thing we found.
Yeah.
That is neat. Great. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Julie and Alan.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Julie and Alan Sanders, who are making our downtown having more jobs, more foot traffic, more things going on, a lot of new things there. Pizza and Pint, Trailwares, Fermenter's Market, Cup of Grace, The Place, Craft Studio, and now the Stanton's Building, and Broadway Cafe is coming. What is that going to be? I know that's still a ways away, but.
Well, the downstairs will be a boutique. We have somebody that wants to start a boutique.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's probably a year away. We've got to finish Stanton's first and then work on that.
Right. There's only so much time on the weekends and vacations, right?
That's right.
Wow. Well, I know you said you mentioned you talked to Joe Duck and learned a lot about downtown from him. Is there anybody else who's helped you a lot?
Well, Jimmy Smith, who had Jimmy Smith's shoes,
Yes.
he'd come into the restaurant. And I talked to him, and I think he really had a lot to do with inspiring us to buy buildings and start renovating. Had a conversation with him about, how'd you retire so well? And he said, well, any building that came up for sale, I bought it, and then I had it paid off, and so I lived off my rental income. And I thought, that's a great idea, because the rent goes up with the cost of living, and you could, as long as you can keep them rented, it was a good plan, because at that time the stock market was just horrible. And so we thought, that's a good idea. So we decided we'd do enough buildings that would have enough rental income for retirement, and then would stop, and we can't seem to stop.
Oh, I'm glad you haven't stopped, though. That's great. That's wise planning on your part, and we are glad for all the wonderful things that it does for Sylacauga. Like I said, a lot of new jobs. My daughters, when they come back to town, they love to go Cup of Grace and those kind of places, and work and study or whatever. But so it's really nice to have coffee shops and new places to eat and places to shop, and the craft studio too. I'm not a crafter, sorry, Odessa, but it is busy all the time. A lot of things going on.
And that's what we're looking for, is experiences. If people want to open something, you can't buy that online. You can't go to Walmart and get an experience like that. It's something for kids to do. We don't have enough for our young people to do. So she was a perfect fit.
Isn't she? Yes, I like her so much. And I've seen adults there, I've seen kids there, all kinds of things.
All ages.
Something for everybody in all of these places. Well, I know we talked about knowing what the building was before. I know Pizza and Pint was
That was Maldives.
Maldives, yes, I've
It's
shopped in
set
there.
right in the tile.
That is so.
And we always want to keep that, because that's part of the history of what it was. And people come back and talk about their experiences there when they were young, and remembering going in there and shopping with their mothers. And I love those stories.
Oh, it is fun, and that's how you find out a lot of what was downtown.
And actually, Stanton's, I think, was Emery's Five and Dime.
Woolworths.
The Woolworths.
Oh,
So we
my
actually,
goodness.
in the elevator shaft, I guess over the years, all the employees have signed their name in the elevator shaft.
how
So we got,
fun.
I guess, back from the 40s.
40s.
You got the signatures and the dates from the 40s,
Oh,
all the way through probably Stanton's, where people had worked there and taken the elevator up and down to the second floor. So.
what a treasure. That is nice.
So-
And I'm glad to see you're keeping that. I mean, you're keeping the old and adding the new. So we don't forget where we came from, I guess, really.
Well, there's actually a post, you've probably never seen it, but in Marble City Grill on the large side, well, I guess when they were building it, somebody figured payroll on one of the center posts. So it's still there.
They
We
had their
actually-
names and their hours and their
what they made.
wages.
So we actually stained all the posts, but we left that block of that one post unstained, so you
A
can still
little
see the
history.
payroll from whatever year that was built. So.
Wow, that is neat. I know going into one of the places, I can't remember, there's a framed something on the wall that has receipts from one of the dress shops or something. And
That was in Raspberry Bakery.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes, and what was the name of that dress shop?
Helen's.
Helen's. Yes.
How fun to see that.
Upstairs at the Rex, it was McDonald's Insurance.
McDonald's Insurance was there at one
And
point.
there's boxes and boxes of paperwork, and it's so much fun to go through, because he had his hands in everything. It was on the hospital board, so you can look and see what the hospital budget was.
Oh,
And then it would have, because he was an insurance agent, it would have bills from the hospital. So you'd have room and board for $1.20, and
oh wow.
I think the budget for the entire year was like $100,000 and some that year.
Oh my goodness.
So it's fun to go through that, and just the correspondence of taking a trip down to the beach, back and forth, having to write letters to make reservations.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
You remember that?
I don't. That goes back a ways, doesn't it?
It does.
Wow,
It
How
does.
fun though, too.
Yeah, you realize how spoiled we are with all our conveniences.
We are
It's
so
just a neat glimpse into what life was really like.
And trivia was there. A lot of the trivia signs are still upstairs at the Rex.
Oh, that's right. I remember
It was-
trivia.
It was where
yeah.
the art place is, Odessa, I think.
Yes, okay. I remember trivia being there. Now you mentioned there's a marble plaque in one of the. Is that the?
That is the Broadway Cafe.
Uh-huh.
It was Hagen Drug, and I'm going to mess this up, but I think it said,
Ugly.
ask Tom, ugly but honest,
Yeah.
Tom Hagen.
I remember that we they had a marble scavenger hunt. They've had them in the past during the marble festival in April, and that was one of the things they looked for, and that was fun. That's not because when that was going on, I thought, we don't walk downtown. I mean, years ago, nobody really walked downtown. You know, we drove through the bank, we drove through everywhere. So it's nice to have something to walk to.
And that's changed since we started living downtown. We've noticed a lot more foot traffic with all these new shops opening, and people will come down and spend the day, which is exactly what it's, that small town charm.
Yes, that's what we need and what we want. Tell them just to walk on down and go to the library. It's not far. That's great. Exactly. And I know it's a lot of people come down in the evenings and walk. Yeah. It's flat, nice and flat. And I guess in my day, when I was little, we would say we were window shopping, you know, looking at what's in the windows. So that's fun.
It's nice to be able to do that again.
It is, you know, pretty windows and pretty buildings. How do you decide how to make it look? I don't even know how to talk the talk here. How do you decide what the outside should look like?
I think the building starts speaking to you as you go through and you do the demolition process. And you kind of get an idea of what it should look like, thinking about what's going to go into it.
Sure.
And you don't want to make it so it can be nothing but that in the future, but you just want to bring it back to what it might have looked like. Or we go a lot of downtowns when we travel. And so my phone is just full of pictures of facades and things like that, and you get an idea, because you don't want every building to look the same.
Right.
You want it to have a style, but not cookie cutter. So we just go through and take pictures of all these downtown facades that catch our eye and think, you know, how could we do that? So we steal all our best ideas.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. There are a lot of small towns around. So
there are.
Oh, yeah.
So she comes back with that, and then you have to make it look like that. Is that right?
Yeah, she does all the design work. I just,
oh, my goodness.
I don't do any of that.
Wow.
So.
Well, I just tell you, I am so grateful for what y'all are doing downtown. And I know it's something you enjoy. I can tell by the way you talk about it. But you brought so many good things to downtown, and we're very excited. Like I said, we're downtown, so we're glad to have more people walking downtown, shopping and looking around. So we'll be looking for new things at the Stanton's building. Like I said, I love the plants in the balcony and the beautiful gray. That's going to be very nice. A lot of work still to do on that.
We're thinking we'll be through by December.
Okay.
Our goal is to be in by Christmas.
We won't open the shop until probably after Broadway Cafe is done.
Right.
But the shop downstairs will be open after that.
And that's going to be a boutique, is that?
No, that will be in Broadway Cafe. Stanton's, it's going to be, the best I can describe is like a maker's mart. I do a lot of junking to find all the decor for these businesses that we build out, and I've got so much leftover junk, as he calls it. I call it treasure.
Wow.
And so I'm going to have that in there, old doors, old windows, old mantles, things that people would use to make something out of, old bed frames for benches. And then I'll have a shop in the back where you can learn how to put things together. And then in the front, it'll be projects that are already made.
Well, we are out of time. I wish we could talk some more about that. But thank y'all so much for joining me on Library Connection today. Thank you for joining us.